achieve success with Global.Media.com. Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com. Then celebrate it with or without champagne.
Yay! We're alive, Elaine. We're alive.
Hello.
This must be the earliest show I've ever done. I must say. Now, really, I've not because okay. Let me try and explain, my friends. Of course, if you're here, drop us a comment, say hello. And otherwise, we can see numbers, or we can't see you in particular. So our clocks went backwards on Sunday. So normally it'll be 2 p.m. here in the UK. I've done shows at 2 p.m., which is not bad. What's that? 9 p.m. 9 a.m. Eastern. So that's not too bad, right?
9:17, yeah.
Right. So today, it's 1:20 now here, and it's 9 a.m. in Eastern, and so on as you go. So what's it? 7 a.m. Central. What is in PST Pacific? What, 6 o'clock? No, it's not 6 o'clock. It's not 6. It's 5 o'clock.
6 o'clock in California. It's like 6:19. Yeah, they're just getting up.
I tell you now, you have to be keen.
Maybe they didn't go to sleep at all, like I sometimes do, stay up all night. And then my family, what I do is I try to get into bed before they get up. They're like, have you been up all night? No.
I do all nighters pretty much most days, and the all night thing is just so weird, right? So yesterday I think I'm sitting here working away, minding my business. Something pops up, and it's 10 to 6 in the morning, right? And someone comes on the screen, my friend basically saying, come network. And I'm like, okay, fine. I click, I join. Suddenly I'm in Australia, amongst a group of Australians. I'm looking around saying, where's my friend though? Why am I the only black person here as always? And so I messaged her. She's like, what are you doing there? I'm like, you invited me. Here I am. And she's like, well, it's at 8 o'clock. You're too early. I'm saying, I'm not too early. You're too late, because 8 is like this whole clock moving forwards backwards thing is just so confusing, right? So she thought it was 8 o'clock. But I have no clue. So but it was 6 o'clock, and she never turned up. She's like, damn, I don't know how you got there. Hold on, am I looking properly? Something's happened, Elaine.
I see you, but LinkedIn is having some LinkedIn and some of the other platforms are having some problem.
No, I'm not. It's not a problem. Please, my southern YouTube friends, thank you all of you. There were 22 people on YouTube a second ago. I'm like, wow, that's crazy, right? Now there's 8 still there, which is amazing.
Yeah, but that's I think people, they're on the train going to work, or they're sitting having their breakfast, or whatever the time zone is. People chime into you because you have sessions that are important, life-changing, important information you share. And
go on, Elaine, you tell them. But I can't do it without people like you. You're the real star.
But it's the truth.
And I should thank my friend Crystal Behe, because she's a YouTube star out of all of us. She's the one who brings her YouTube friends. Okay. And I can imagine, maybe that's why LinkedIn or YouTube suddenly doing this shorts version, this portrait version of our event. I can imagine that's what most people are, right? They essentially, like you say, they're watching that and thinking, what? Right? They're going live.
The phones are a little bit bigger that people are buying, and they have the landscape for movie thing. So it's people using more landscape format. But let's talk about the specials that I have coming up.
Let's talk about your specials. Yes, let's do that.
So I'm Elaine Jackson. I am the founder and business owner of Holistic Project Management Consulting. And we've been in business since 2008. And doing training even before that. Training related to the PMP certification, CAPM, training in sustainability, positive intelligence, introduction programs, anything project management that helps in leadership. We are there to support the industry. And what we have coming up, and I told Annie, I said, this is the opportunity for people to get, especially at this time of year in the US, people are worrying about paying for health insurance and they're like, oh my God, I can't afford it. So I said, okay, let me run a free class. And the free class is in how to prepare for your PMP. So what will people get out of this course is an opportunity to get level set. What they call, get your head in the right place, get organized, get remotivated, and get your true north set. True north meaning, you're here, there, everywhere. No, this is the goal. Keep your blinders on, go. And when I coach individuals, Annie, you would not believe, there are people that I have coached that all of a sudden they get so motivated. I mean, I'm almost afraid of what they do at home. They tell the wife, get out of the way, I'm studying. I'm going to mow the lawn. Are you crazy?
Yeah, I think that project management is important, right? Project management is, it's a skill to have, and there's opportunities in the sector, I imagine, right?
Right. Well, the thing is, no two project managers will do a project the exact same way. But what I am coaching people to do, and these are strategies that have been proven, is what do you do in the very beginning of the project? What do you do in the middle? What should you be doing at the end? What tools should you be using? What is the mindset? So you can't just go and get a customer that says, I want you to help me with this implementation. And you're like, okay, well, we'll implement by Friday, but you don't have any information to get to base that on. Just because you want something to happen doesn't mean it will. You have to use the right tools. You have to use the right strategies. You have to really be about how are you communicating with your customer so that the customer actually is in the loop of knowing a status, every phase, every step by step, what's going on. If you're not giving the customer progress notes, even if something went wrong, you still have to, as a project manager, give that information to the customer so that this way the customer can make a decision as to whether they want to continue with the project. Do they want to put more money into it? If it's going well, they may even want to give you a bonus on top of that. Sometimes customers are like, oh my God, I'm so happy. Here's something for you. And you open the envelope and there's like a Amazon gift card in there. I mean, that happened to me. And I was like, should I take it? Don't take it. Is it a
take it? Never say no. Never say no to a gift, right?
No, but see, the thing is, we have to be careful as project managers that it's not seen as a bribe. Like, here, take this, but don't tell anybody of the bad things we did to make this thing happen. Is it a bribe or is it really a gift?
It's a gift. It's a gift.
As project managers, we always have to think, wait a minute. Is this, if I take it, we have more contracts coming up. So if you're in the middle of more contracts, I would say don't take it. Is it at the very end of the project and everybody's crying and laughing and celebrating, and then they say, here's a gift for you? It's a gift because you're now outside the realm of having to give them deliverables. But if you're in the middle of the project and they say, hey, I have a little something for you. See, when it's a bribe, it comes like sneaky. Here, they look behind the back. Don't tell anybody, but here's a gift for you. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, So you can, your gut tells you.
I agree with that.
It's wrong. But you know what? All of my students in a class about 3 years ago, we had this ethics class, and I presented the same case to them. many of them were millennials, and they were like, take the money and run.
Yeah, it was, and down the road as you go.
I said, are you guys thinking? They're like, think about what? I want that money. I'm like, you gotta think. You gotta think. You know?
I think, well, if someone's, someone is truly appreciative, then I think I said take it, because otherwise it's almost rude not to, right? But I see what you're saying about how
it's rude not to take a bribe.
it can look like bribery. It's rude not to take the money, not to take someone's gratitude.
You know what? Right? I think as an American, we never think, oh, it's rude. It's like when you go to somebody's house and they can't cook and the house looks a little dirty and they're like, can I cook? Can I fix you anything? No, thank you. Oh, I just ate. I'm so full.
Meanwhile, you're starving.
Meanwhile, oh no, not here. I can't eat here. No, not from you. But I like you, but not eating your food.
Yeah, but I think look, getting back to our point. I think almost everything is a project, right? I think now, and when I look at my work, I look at it like a project, because there is a beginning, there's engaging the client, there's a contracting phase, and then there's a planning phase, and then there's, I guess the doing phase, which can involve several people, my subcontractors, for example, my editors, my cover designer, and everything has to be planned, with intention, and then delivered.
Yeah,
of course. Right. In the process, we experience complexities of humans, changing our idea, wanting to increase the scope, wanting to, I guess we're trying to control the plan and the deliverables.
Well, if you look at all the interviews you've done, right? All the interviews you've done, it always starts out with that little thing jiggling on the screen. So you want to do an intro. I'm like, oh my God, there he goes with that thing again. And then you go, hello. It's always, and that hello. If somebody has their PC on, but they're not really paying attention, when they hear that hello, they're like, oh my God, he's on. I got to turn the thing on, So the point that I'm making is that even though you're not a project manager, you still have what do you want to talk about? What's the title? Because if let's say you never asked me to tell you, so let's get on LinkedIn Live and talk. And then I want to talk about politics, and I want to talk about slavery, and I want to talk about
I'll just be like, oh no, this is all like, wrong.
Oh, she just hijacked my show. Oh my God, where's the off button? Like, hold on, delete. So you as a project, everything is not a project though, because you can have so many projects grouped together that it becomes a program. So let's say you wanted to do a Christmas party and invite every one of your guests from all your shows. And that Christmas party would actually be a program, because you're going back, pulling clips from each of the shows, talking to each of those individuals, having them say something like, Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas, or whatever. The thing is, it would be much bigger, but it's coordinated, but it's bigger. So there are more moving pieces. Where'd you go? Annie?
My dog opened the door and came in. I sent it back out today.
Oh, poor, you didn't spank the doggy. No, let's not talk about spanking doggies.
I didn't touch him. I merely spoke to him. Ted's quite sensible. Ted is an old man, so he understands.
Oh, Ted! Oh, so, one day we'll have a dog show, and everybody bring their dogs on the camera.
So, welcome, Lisa. You say previously live, but you can see we're live now. No? Yes? No? I don't know. I don't know what you can see. And Bruce says something similar.
Hello, Bruce.
It's starting soon. Is LinkedIn glitching? Is LinkedIn playing up?
It's something going on. Even right now, I heard an echo twice, just a little echo, then it went away. yeah, they're trying new things, and they shouldn't try it when everybody's online, when people are live. But thank you, everybody, for coming on the call. Looking for engagement on why some individuals wait to the last minute on important things. I know it's scary to take a chance on yourself, but if you want a company to take a chance on you, like, hey, we're going to promote you, you should know the information. You should feel like this company's trusting me not to make them lose market share, not to make them lose their footing on this new release of this great product. So I need to know every step of the way what I'm doing. I need to be in sync with my team so that when we say, hey, what are let's have a small stand-up meeting, you don't say, what's a stand-up meeting? You should be up to date on your terminology. So in most agile projects, they have this thing where they meet daily and they quickly say, what have you accomplished? What are you doing today? What are you doing tomorrow? It's just a quick, what are some of the problems and issues that you ran into with the work you said you were going to do yesterday? Did you get it done? What is planned for today? Do we have to change the plans for today? And then what are you planning to achieve for tomorrow? So when you look at those three things, there's a lot more in there. But as a project manager, you don't want to have your team confused. You certainly don't want to have the customer confused. So you want to make the information look very simple. Look, they're just doing these three things, but behind the scenes, there's like a million things going on. It's so funny, I told someone the other day, I said, now I realize it's so true that I think like a chess player in everything that I do. If somebody says, hey, I want you to meet my friend, they work on Wall Street. I can make connections. I can do this. So there's a planning out. There's a seeing into the future. There's a multiple layers. So my kids, when I ask them a question, they don't answer the question. They're like, why are you asking that question, Mom? We know you. We know there's a hidden agenda. There's no agenda. I just asked the question, but they know that question is to get them to open up because I have 2-3 other things coming and they're like, oh, we ain't going there. We're not going there. But as project managers, that's how we think. We just sort of think in layers and moving out like a spreadsheet, like a WBS format, we're just looking at everything in what are the repercussions of, and we don't really have to think about every single thing because we have tools that do that. Also, we're using AI, and then we have each other to remind us, hey, don't do that. I was on a project like that before, and these are the problems we ran into. So your team members work together. You don't work in a silo. You work together for the purpose of successfully finishing the project.
I like that. Mary, let me welcome you as well, because I see you on my LinkedIn, but not on my StreamYard, which is rather what it is. But we'll go, we'll live. As long as you can hear us and as the others can hear us as well, then I'll take it, right? Thanks. So so look, a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine, Caroline, she messaged me. She said that she's about to do her PMP exam and she's very, very nervous. Literally, she was petrified. Of course, I said, no, let me connect you with Dr. Elaine because she knows project management inside out.
I do. I'm not a doctor, but yes, I do know project management inside out. I sleep project management. Sometimes I wake up so tired because I've been working on problems in my sleep. That's so crazy.
That is crazy.
How does it stop?
Stay awake. Stay awake, do the work, and then go to sleep. That's what I do.
Yeah, but when as a project manager, if things are not done, you sometimes ruminate on it in the like a cow. It goes into one stomach and then goes to the next. The point is that you feel like, oh my God, this thing is just not done. I can't figure a solution. And sometime in your sleep, I've actually solved math problems in my sleep. And I wake up, I'm like, I know the answer. And I'm like, that is sad.
Yeah.
That's when somebody has not gone on a cruise in a long time. That's the kind of brain they have. I need to
No,
go on a cruise. You know, when you go
you
on a
do.
cruise, when you
You
go
do.
on a cruise, as you're lining up and you're doing that onboarding, they have all these little things of rum. You want to sample the rum. By the time you get there to give you the credit card, you're like, put it all on that card. You
Mm.
know, yeah, because you're starting to mellow out. You're like,
Mm.
nothing matters. Nothing matters. I don't even remember my passwords.
That's until you wake up and then you find that everything matters, right?
Yeah, what did
Until
I buy on that ship?
I
What did
tell
I?
you.
Yeah.
Antonia, welcome. I see you. Teamwork is definitely key in project management.
It
Yes.
is. It is. It is. But when you have somebody on your team that number one doesn't know the language or know the knowledge that's needed to interact, it's important to get that person up to speed as quickly as possible.
Mm.
um Rather than leave them out there on their own, go on the web, figure it out, or you can learn as you go. Learn as you go, that's terrible, because learn as you go means you're going to make mistakes as you go. It is a customer in the contract. Did it say we're going to be making 10% mistakes, but don't worry, we'll fix it as we go? How does that sound? Right, Annie? How does that sound to have a customer offering them that we have people on the team that don't know what they're doing? That's like you going for surgery and the doctor says, oh, I'm going to have the intern. Whenever they start that intern, no touch from the intern. Intern, no touch. you know, you
No,
know.
I think it comes down to usually budgets, the client's budget. Now that's what I find. That's again. I was going to say what I took a new client yesterday, and he's like, "Well, this publisher's giving me this price to do 3 books. Can you do it for that price?" I'm like, I have to see the books first. I don't know until I see the books. Right, I have to see the
See,
match. Right.
see,
But
this.
then, but he's thinking is, oh, I can go cheap, which is fine. I'm saying it's good. That's all right. But now be prepared for that person to make mistakes, because you don't know how good they are at publishing at what they do. Almost everyone can talk a good game, right? But say very few can actually deliver unless they're at the right level. Without making the mistakes.
Yeah, but I think some people are like good enough, like the saying is good enough beats best in class. But I aim for best in class so that nobody can beat me. Nobody can beat me.
Yeah. No, sometimes that's doable. Cyrus, I see you. Welcome. Say Bruce. Let's address your amazing comment. Bruce says, where I work, we have a very disciplined approach to program management. We start off with a kickoff meeting once we receive a contract with a set format that includes all disciplines. Yeah, and you have to separate it, right? Every discipline needs to sign off before we start. I set up weekly meetings with the customer, preceded by the day prior to an internal meeting to outline what we've done to date, where we are today, and what tasks, short and long term, need to be done. Right? We maintain the record on a rail. I guess that's some sort of recording system, right? We also have an IMS that outlines. I don't know whether there's more comments. No, we lost a bit there.
Yeah, but do you see how Bruce is talking about getting organized? But see, once they receive the contract, but that tells you that work has been done before you even start a kickoff meeting, because you have to then the customer have discussions with the customer, pull out the scope of what they need, make sure that you are in alignment. If you can't deliver what the customer needs, it's best to tell them, hey, we don't do that, but we do know someone that does, and refer them over, instead of saying, we're going to try. We're going to try. That's like your doctor saying, we're going to try and help deliver the baby. The baby's too big, but we're going to try. Do you know the pain and suffering that happens on projects from project managers that try rolling action items list. That's interesting.
That's
I
what the
wonder,
that's what the real means in that sense. So that's
yeah,
how we record
Bruce,
things, right?
ask Bruce if he does Prince 2. Is that a Prince 2 terminology? I wonder.
Bruce, I mean, yeah, Bruce can hear you, so
Bruce, is that Prince 2? Or maybe that is ProSci, which is the change management. I mean, once you get hooked on project management, you can't stop. It's you just want more knowledge. You want more abilities to make sure you're confirming your knowledge is up to date. That's what people are doing is they study for the exam. So the free class, somebody, I know the screen is not shaking, the ground is not quaking, but yeah, we're offering a free class starting next week. And the free class is to field questions and support for the PMP, those who are about to take the exam, those who are nervous about the exam. Boeing terminology. Okay. Yeah, Bruce says that's some terminology specific to Boeing. And organizations have their own acronyms for things,
wow.
Yes, so like a terminology RAM, like in project management, we looked at that as rough order of ROM, rough order of magnitude. But there's a similar term that they use in tech, right, to deal with the memory. So the thing is, know your acronyms. Make sure you know you have a dictionary of acronyms and that you're using it correctly. I see Cyrus has entered the room. Hi, Cyrus.
Hi, how's it going? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
How are you doing, Cyrus?
I'm doing all right. Thank you so much. I entered the room a few minutes ago. And I thought the show was cancelled. Then I rejoined, and it made me happy to find out you guys went ahead with the room.
I mean, I was debating whether I would do it at 3 in the morning, so 9 p.m. Eastern rather than being 9 a.m. Eastern. But we're here. We're here, and I could not do it for the thing I say. This is the earliest we've ever been for us.
Please send me the YouTube channel link as well, so we can promote the room on readerstv.com as well.
Okay, you know that there's 2 links now on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Well, so I don't know which one's which. I'm trying to see what I can tell.
Yeah, you better start your witch hunt to find out which one's which, mate.
No, I don't know. And I say one is portrait, the other one's not. The other one is landscape.
Yeah, that's what I was confused.
Totally confused, but it's all right.
But when you're confused and you're in front of the customer, it's best to not say you're confused. Just say, that's interesting.
No,
give me a moment.
I was, as they say, I was more confused than a cow on artificial grass.
That's sad. That's sad. He probably eat it anyway.
Yeah, that's cruelty to cows, surely.
Yeah, they'll eat it anyway.
I promise I didn't.
So Elaine, Cyrus, do you do project management? Is that, of course, like I said, I think everything is most things are a project that we'll work on.
Yeah. In terms of project management, I don't use any artificially intelligence assisted platforms. I usually do my projects on my own PC. I make a list. I know the beginning, the middle, and the end, and then I just finalize it. Really, it's not that complicated. But some businesses do need artificial intelligence to assist them and make them more optimized. Really.
So I guess my question would be to Cyrus and everybody: what did the Egyptians do when they did the pyramids? What AI did they use?
I thought they danced their way into finalization of the pyramids.
I used to travel a lot, and I saw a man. I believe he was from Egypt, and they asked him how tall was his son, and he took his hand and then measured. He says he's 5 something. Blah. I'm like, wow. Now we would have been like, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. He's up to my ribs or something. But this guy had a way to know from his thumb to his pinky how much that measured, and he just went like this. Now, I know somebody in the audience is like, yeah, that's how we do it. We're smart. That's how we do it. We use tools from way back when. But as project managers, you have tools available to you. One of the tools that I like is Trello. I really like that tool because my brain fires. I don't know if you guys have seen me on calls before, but my brain fires really rapidly. So if we had a networking session of ideas, I would come out with idea, help you with that one. Boom, boom, boom. The brain just goes. So what I find Trello does is help me offshore all of those ideas into a tool. Now I don't have to think about it. Now I don't have to say, I have to remember what was that thing I was thinking about. Every time I get an idea, I take it and throw it in the Trello. Then I can take those ideas and then bring it to another card to say, okay, I'm working on these ideas, but these are the ones that are simmering. So it gives me great hope when I see I have a simmering list of 50 things, but for someone else, that might make them kind of crazy. They might lose their mind, thinking, oh my God, I have 50 things to do. As project managers, we know that list is just constantly, as we do, more stuff comes at the end. But we also prioritize what is most important here and now. And as we move the project along, are we getting rid of that list? Because we shouldn't have on the list all these extra things that have nothing to do with the project, right? It should be totally focused, because the customer, if they say, well, what's left to be done, and you show them a list and something has to do with someone else's project, they're like, why am I paying for you to be focused on that? Get that off the list. So you stay focused on what was agreed upon, and those things that you're working on will definitely be tied to how you're going to achieve the end result. And so this is the passion that I have in project management, is to work with like-minded people, to work with people that actually see the benefit of doing things in an organized way. We're talking the same language. We're rowing the boat. Somebody's not rowing backwards as everybody's rowing forward, and we're all in sync. I've been on projects where people weren't in sync, and it's like you sit there like this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. We're going to go over the edge. This is not going to work. And I see a lot of people jumping into the room. Hello, Mr. Calm, Michael Calm. Hello. So what questions do you have related to the PMP, to the exam? The exam is almost 4 hours. It used to be 4 hours. They shaved off 15 minutes, but there was some other things that happened. They shaved off the 15 minutes, so you have less time to really achieve what you need. But the bottom line, if you're doing the right things, the first 107 questions or so, if you do the right thing, you've passed by the time you've answered 107 questions. There's 200. So the thing is getting the process in place, getting your head in the right place, being calm and centered and focused on what is most important for learning and preparing for that exam.
How was your first PMP exam, Miss Elaine?
How was the exam? It was scary. It's scary. It is scary because I believe most of the people that take that exam, they've lived life a little bit. So they're at a point in their life, they're not going to decide, oh, I think I'll go to medical school. Oh, I think I'll be a lawyer. No, those boats have come and sailed. So you're now here at a point where I'm going to be able to make a lot of money. I'm going to be able to help a lot of people, but I've got to go through these hurdles of these different certifications. And it's scary because you don't want to fail. But once you give up that fear, it's like, okay, if I fail, I'm going to stay grounded, review what I did wrong. I now see what's in the test. Let me clean up my act and go back in. You have to pay more money to retake the test, but the bottom line, the mindset is I'm going back in. I'm going for my PMP. When my students, they call me the morning that they're doing their test and they want a little motivation, and I motivate them. Remember this, remember that. Don't do this. Make sure you take a bathroom break and do this and do that. And then I'm like, go get that PMP. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna go get it. Just a rah, get in there. I mean, I wish I had money to travel so that every time my students were taking the exam, I would be outside.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Don't come out without that PMP. You go in there and get it. Get it for the team. I should have been a football coach. Any questions?
That sounds interesting.
Mr. Com, have you taken certification exams?
No. Yes, when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
When I had to get an avionics technical certification.
Okay.
That was the first time.
Okay.
And I failed.
Okay.
The first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go back in and take it again.
Mm-hmm.
Second time I passed. But, it was daunting the first time. And the second time it was just as daunting. But I had prepared significantly for it. So I didn't know what the outcome would be.
Okay.
I just expected that, the worst case would be I fail again. And then I wouldn't be able to take it again. It was, that's how it was difficult. It was hard. It was all about memorization. Trying to understand the concept. Yeah, it was all about memorization. And just, spitting out what you knew, what you knew, depending on what the question was.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was, and it's like I said, it was frustrating, it was stressful, and then when I passed, I was so happy. Oh my gosh, the stress just, I think I lost a whole bunch of weight just going through that process. Hi. It was quite something. So for me to go in and start taking the PMP again, wow. I had to be like you trying to what do you call it? I'll be like a donkey. He just refuses to move. Try and get me to go anywhere, and I'll just be like, nope.
But you see that resistance is what makes people fail. Like, oh, I don't want to do it. Oh my God, why do I have to do this? So all of that sets up in your mind. Your brain is like, well, we're not going to do it either. If he doesn't want to do it, we're not going to do it. Everybody, gut, your gut, your brain, your heart, everything says, we're going to get together and say, no, we're not taking the exam. And the more you try to study, the more your whole body resists it. Then you're like, how come I'm only getting a 30% every time I take the test? It's about mindset. It's about relaxing. See how Mr. Com actually said he went back in. He went back in. Now, there are many people that don't go back in to take the test. They're like, oh, I'm a failure. Oh my God, I can't do anything right. You cannot do that. If it is that you believe that you're on a team for a purpose, that you feel you want to add the value, and this certification is the one thing blocking you from making 200,000 or more in your income, I would suggest that you do a reset. Like next week, we have free classes from 7 to 9 p.m. for the whole week. For the whole week, free classes to review the most complex topics, answer your questions, motivate you. I mean, that alone is worth like almost $1,000. The program that I'm offering you is worth $1,000. That's what I've charged others for, to coach them, motivate them, get them ready, pump them up. What is wrong with your test? What test have you taken? What are your scores? This is what you need to do. It's just a constant. Now, some people break under that kind of coaching. Some people under that kind of coaching, some people are like, oh my God, too much pressure. But you have to be able to withstand the pressure, because the pressure I put on my clients is close to the pressure they're going to put on themselves when they go to take that exam. And so the thing is, if you're used to pressure, when you get into the exam, it's no big deal, because you're used to that kind of mental pressure on yourself, and you know how to deflect it. You know what you need to do. Get ready, set, go. You do whatever, don't change the answers. There's some things that I really coach hard on. And one of the major things is sometimes people answer a question, then they go back and change it. Then maybe it's A. No, maybe it's B. Oh, I think it's D. All that changing the answer, you actually had the right answer the first time. You have to trust your brain. I was talking with Annie earlier about, hi, Mike. So we're talking about a waterfall, mainly a waterfall approach, but these, the exam is related to a waterfall. But the bottom line, you can have any strategy that I'm talking about applied to if you're taking an agile or you're taking a pro side test. This is why you see some people have like 20 certifications behind their name, because they've learned what I need to do: study, highlight, make flashcards, do this, do that, review, come back in. They know what to do. They did one, then they go and get another one. It just rinse, wash, rinse, repeat. And they just come back in, take a pro side, which is change management. Get rid. That one is $4,000. That's a $4,000 training. That one is $4,000. So I believe it's important that you offer your company, hey, like I come with sustainability. I have some training in the AI, in training in AI, but in PQ, which is positive intelligence. So the thing is, if you're coming with a complement of things that your team does not have, that makes you more valuable. You can then create a statement to why your company should pay you more. What value do you bring to the organization that's not just the ordinary PMP and the agile certification, Scrum Master? It's nice to have those, but you got to go a little bit on the edge of something extra that's needed in the industry, so that your company says, hey, if we have to get rid of someone, we're not getting rid of you. You bring too much to the table. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can see the value of learning the different parts. Of course, I can. Let me welcome Leanna. Always great to see you, my friend. Glad you're here. Mike is here. As you know, you just work on Mike, right? Mike has That's Minnesota. Mike passed the certifications the first time, and he hated both tests. Probably, yes. I don't know what those things are, right? But best
yes,
test.
Yeah. I believe that looks like security. Looks like security.
Yeah, type of security.
Maybe it's Microsoft. Maybe it's Microsoft.
So
50
no,
questions you couldn't answer. Your brain gets scrambled. You ever been somewhere under so much pressure that somebody asks you a question that you should know and you can't answer because your brain is just like, you can't even line. Like if a police walked up to you and he had his gun drawn, like, what's your name? I'd be like,
yeah, I like that.
I don't remember my name. I don't even know where I am.
The 50 questions I couldn't understand the question, let alone the answers. Nah,
Yes.
that's
I'd ask him. I'd ask him the question. What's your name?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. We won't.
This is Calm's way, question rather than question to, I don't know, I guess buy you time, buy you something, right? Buy you peace of
It
mind.
does. You know,
Yes, exactly.
Mr. Com said a great thing. He says, ask the police his name. But I did that once, and the name, he says it's on my thing. But I didn't know the police have their name on their uniform. Like they have a thing on their uniform that has their name. How would I know that? He says it's right here. I said, well, now I know. But yeah, you don't want to. You just don't know what will set somebody off. You just don't. Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing in project management. By staying calm and quiet, I'm one of those people on the team that I sort of sit back and watch the dynamics, because there's always somebody, oh, I know what to do. They're loud and they're pushy and everything. And there are other people that don't engage. So we look at the different personalities on the team. You want everybody engaged, but sometimes some people want their name stamped on every single page so they can show, look, my name's on every page. I should get more money. I did more work. It's not who did more work. It's, are you staying in your lane? Are you helping those who are in their lane? So if you're here, there, and oh, give it to me, I'll do it, and that's someone else's work, that creates an uncomfortable feeling of like, maybe they don't value me. Maybe they don't value me. I'm trying to do the work, and they're saying I'm working too slow. I'm focused on the most important things. They just want to do everything on the list. So, the dynamics, I talk about that, even though that's not really part of the exam. It's like, what are you doing to get this new job? Talking points. I'm willing to offer talking points for job interviews. That's critical. You go on a job interview and they say, tell me a little bit about how are you doing? The question could be, how are you doing in project management? But you might say, I'm doing fine. No, relate everything to the job, to the money you're going to get, to the wonderful people you're going to meet, to the dynamics of the team. Is there anything you need to know about the team? If you were to lead the team this afternoon, is there anything you need to know about individual team members? For me, it's important that I get inside the head of each team member, just sort of get a lay of what kind of person they are, so that I can know how to work them to get more work done. You can't
Guess
push. What?
This morning, I got a notification from Annie that Elaine was coming, and I need to get on. It was like 6:03. And that's when I got the notification. I looked at this timestamp, and it said it's supposed to start at 6. And I was like, Annie, this is the first notification, and you're already late. So I quickly go in there, and I'm like, oh, let me get in there. I get in there. Nobody's there. It hasn't even started. And I'm like, oh my gosh. All this consternation and everything like that. And in my mind, I was getting prepared to get my cable for my computer to bring it into work. And guess what? I forgot my cable. I'm here at work, and my power cable is not here with me. So I can understand what you're talking about. I do now. My world has been flustered because of Elaine.
Oh, well, I think about it in a good way, right? Reduce the light, reduce the light on your PC. It'll last a little longer, and there may be extra
I
cable.
didn't think of that. That's true. I need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, there may be a cable. Somebody may have a similar power thing, and they let you borrow it to power up. That's what I would.
I'll go to IT and I'll ask them if they're going.
Well, you know what? I have a better idea. Give me the phone number. Give me the phone number for your manager, and I'm going to call and say I'm your mom, and you must come home right away.
Oh my gosh!
I thought of a business idea like that I would become people's moms. Michael needs to come home. I'm not feeling well. He needs to come home now. Then you go and they go to the movies, go out and have lobster, Chinese food, Indian food.
Oh no.
And then your manager's like, how do you feel? You feel better? Does your mom feel? Oh, she's feeling much better, much better. I've offered so many of my clients, you want me to pretend to be your mom and call your manager? No, that's not going to work.
You know, it makes me wonder, Elaine, what were you like in school?
I was, that's a good point that you make. So in school, when I was little, even, oh my God, even in college, right? The report would be, she's a great student, but she talks a lot. So I want to caution anybody listening to this. If you have a child or a niece, a stepchild, and they talk a lot, let them talk, because they might be a radio talk show host. They might be someone running a TV station. They may be someone who's giving great speeches. You never know. Someone that talk, they have so much in their head, they're just bringing it out. So don't tell, I'm from a generation where they told kids, sit down. Kids should be seen and not heard. That's wrong. That's so wrong. If you have a child that likes to talk, entertain them. What are you talking about? Oh my God, how did you ever think of that? Encourage it rather than stifle it, because some people, I think Oprah Winfrey was very talkative and then she had a trauma in her life. No, it was Maya Angelou, and she stopped talking for years. Just stopped, and they worried about her. And then look how she ended up being a world-class speaker. So it's important that, I was a person that run, talk, and chat with people. Always have something to say. And, yeah.
Excellent. I would think that Cyrus would love this when you said, children should be, so it should be children should be heard and not seen, something like that.
No, heard. Yeah. Children should be seen but not heard, which means when you come in a room, don't get into adult people conversations. Now, I know now you bring a child into a room or they go somewhere and adults are talking, they'll get right into conversation. I'm from a generation where adults would have turned around and says, and who was talking to you? Sit down, get a book, make yourself busy, don't get in trouble, and keep your mouth shut. That's the generation that I grew up in, which is so different than the generations now.
Well,
but the generations now don't talk. They'll literally sit there for hours and say nothing.
Well, if they better, or else the or else was not pleasant. And then you don't want to be shamed.
The confusion that the way we treat our children can cause them confusion. I just want to invite you to focus on this part. For the first 3 years, you teach your child how to talk and how to walk, and then in the following 3 years, you tell them to shut up and sit down. So that causes them confusion, right? It's ironic, isn't it? So I think balance will do the job.
True, but children in my generation, we knew when the parents say something, that's it. But the children now will give a lot of back talk. They're like, no, you're not going to spank me because I have power. I can make a phone call. I can tell somebody and you'll be in big trouble. So kids now.
Don't tell them why I say that. Mike, I was a bit like you. I didn't talk. I didn't like. I was seen, but I wasn't heard. But Mike always says, everyone wants to be seen, heard, and valued. So that's another truth of it, right?
It's true. And that's what you can achieve having the PMP. Going for that exam gives you a level. I know you see people with certifications or the PhD, you think of them differently. You don't think of them as the same level. Like maybe somebody graduated from high school and they went and worked on a job for 30 years. Their clout is still different than someone that comes in and has degrees and certifications. They may both know the same thing, but when it comes time for a promotion, it may be, well, I like Joe, even though he doesn't have certification, I'm going to give him the job. Or we need somebody that when we put them out there, they got all these things behind their name. We're going to go with the other guy. I think it's better to have more knowledge, more certifications, because you can always take it off. You can take it off your LinkedIn profile. You can put it back on, take it off the resume for a job that's not really that technical, put it back on. So you have the flexibility of removing. But if you're already at a level where you don't have anything on, you have nothing to add on that gives that extra oomph. You know, you may have a lot to offer, but you have to get that person to talk to you to be able to say that.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's for me, my certification, my qualifications are not anywhere near my profile. You know, I think it's more. No, I agree with you, Mike. You know, it's what you know is what's within. I think partly, you know, when you do the courses and learn and become a better person at doing that, you know, you are respectful, you can engage, and you're part of generating solutions, right? Generating generative discussions, you call it, Mike. I agree with you. You know, because I think, you know, but Elaine, now you have to tell us eventually, how does your week-long program work?
The week-long program works with people signing up. I have a link, and what I will do after today is put it into this actual thread, because I know people read this and people come back over and over. But the actual program is set to help individuals build confidence. Now, let's say it's free, so you can't say, well, I didn't get my value. You're going to get way more value in the first half an hour than you could imagine. But the bottom line is, if, let's say I coach you and this is the second day and you're like, okay, I know what to do, I'm all set. But if you are smart, you would come to all 5 sessions, because I'm not saying the same thing each session. I'm covering how to handle changes on the project. What are the terminologies? We're going to be answering actual questions that you might see. Now, these are not test questions from previous tests. So in the English language, right, if I say who is God? And I ask 50 people, most likely of the 50 people, 25 of them are going to say the same kind of thing, is spiritual being that we've never seen. Or so the bottom line is that you're going to get the coaching that you need on the topics that are important. Now, finding out from those who are attending, what are your problems? And then I focus, rather than say, let's go to the beginning, that by the time I get to the end, their problem might be what's at the end of the lesson plan. So the bottom line is get scope from the individuals and say, okay, we have a list of 60 things that everybody says is important. I'm going to have you prioritize that list, send it to me so that tomorrow we start working on the list. Here's what's important. Let's look at some mock exam questions. That's practice questions. Questions that are similar, but not the exact question. So when you see a question on the exam, your brain analyzes it like a computer. It takes away all the extra fluffy words and says, okay, this question is related to the beginning of the project. So your brain should be thinking about answers that are only related to the beginning of the project. Your brain shouldn't be here, there, and everywhere wondering, oh my God, where's the answer? Let me think, it's in the book. No, your brain should be firing like a computer, because that's how you're going to get through the questions.
Excuse me, can I answer the God question?
Yes. Sure.
Giver of death.
Giver of death.
Yes,
what about the giver of life?
Oh, that's gold. Giver of life.
The giver
and
of
death.
life. Yeah, I would not think of God as the giver of death. Because my mom said everybody has to die. Everything has to die. I'm in Massachusetts. You should see the leaves falling off of the trees here.
Can I answer the God question?
Sure.
I'm going to answer that, even though my mom keeps asking me not to. So one of the greatest questions that people ask themselves, I mean, some people in some circles, is that it's like a massive question, and it is the fact that did God create man, or did man create God? So that there are two sides to this story. Like one side, which is the atheists, they don't believe in God, and one side, which is the religious people who do believe in God. And but what I've found is both sides can continue to live in a parallel manner and amicably without having to hurt or disprove the other side. But about the concept of God, what I've learned is that atheists say he or she doesn't exist. Religious people say he or she does exist. Agnostic people say he may or may not exist. People who believe in nature so everyone's calling him one thing, calling her one thing, naming her or naming him one thing. We are all referring to the same thing, and some of us agree, some of us disagree, whether he or she exists. But what I've also found is that acknowledging the concept of God and focusing and building your life around it and basing every decision you make in life around it are two different things.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Who would have thought that a little example would garner so much need for talking about God? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Polarizing concept. It divides rooms sometimes.
Yeah, I guess it does. I guess it does.
Yeah. So,
Thank you, Leanna, for being
yes.
here.
Super qualified is what I'm taking, Leanna. Registered dietitian. I didn't know that. Okay, I suppose not. The letters out there, right? Many of us don't want to. Do we wonder what they are? Yeah, well, so now we know, right? And licensed dietitian as well. What's the difference? Registered? Well, you have to be licensed to get to register, I imagine.
Well, when I saw that, I would think that she would have a tagline: "Don't eat that gummy bear. Put it back. Don't eat it.
Some
Don't
gummy bears
eat
are good for you. They're good for your
them."
skin.
Oh
Look,
my!
I got clients who sell skincare gummy bears or gummies, skincare gummies, right? And
I love them.
they're good. They're good for your skin. Two sweets a day.
I think it's a stress buster because you're chewing and chewing and chewing. Yeah. But that's interesting because I had a business called PMP Icon. And what happened is the PMI industry, they said, get rid of that company name. It's too close to our PMI. But somebody has said, let me create a name for your company. It'll be so close to PMI that you would get business fallout from it. Well, PMI saw that and they were like, get rid of that company or we're suing you. So, but my point is that PMP icon, I had thought to make fortune cookies and have in the fortune cookies like messages of how to answer the solutions. Like you would see a solution on it, you have to go on the website to answer stuff like that. So I come up with a lot of creative ideas that take people's brain away from I don't want to do it, I don't want to study, this is hard. I have actually taken people that told me I hate math, I never was good in math, and I'll take them through the network diagramming, which is how like the train system in the UK, it's like that. All the blue line, red line. But when you look at a project and you see the schedule, I actually help people learn about scheduling. And at first they're like, this is too complicated. Then all of a sudden they slip up and say, oh my God, this is so much fun. And then they like cover their mouth. They're like, did I just say I enjoy math? Did I just say I understand it? I take people to the point where they do understand and they like the complicated topics. And once you get past that, it's golden. The test, you're going to pass that test. So there is a guarantee that you will increase your scores and that you will be most ready for that exam. You just need someone take you and push you through the door.
So I'll ask you next. So now, in terms of hours of the day and what do people need to bring, but let's finish now. I'm going to say Liana's certification. I'm getting the idea, Liana. You do food, yes. I know you say that further on, right? Certified diabetes care and education specialist. Wow. I said, no, that's
awesome.
Probably for that situation, right? Now, all foods can fit. They
Ooh,
can.
We can't eat our gummy bears. Yay, thank God.
McDonald's burger. I can have that too. My wife just brought one in, so I will eat that as soon as we're finished, right? But only one will do.
She brought you a gummy bear, or she brought you a croissant?
No, she brought me a quarter pounder with cheese from McDonald's.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
Why would your wife give you McDonald's?
Why wouldn't she? Because she's been out and then she's come back and she's really nice. So that must be it. I'm not gonna ask any more beside that. I'll take it. I'll say thank you, darling. Thank you. Lovely. I'll eat it and enjoy it too. Okay. Dr. Marcia, welcome. How you doing? I'm glad you're here. Have you got a room today, Dr. Marcia? So I will take a look right after our event because we still have time, I believe. Mike, there's a weird thing in my life, but you know this, Mike, because you've been one of my co-hosts as well as Cyrus, and there wasn't Carm, was Coach David, right? I'm never late. I'm always here on time. Of course I am. If I'm not here on time, the show doesn't happen. It means I'm still asleep.
That is just so funny.
We just choose not to go live. I just choose not to go live on time. Well, there's a reason. Normally, I'm inviting people. That's why we don't go live. But everyone who I do events with knows this. They're like, Annie, go live. I'm like, a few more minutes.
Annie, did you just to make sure I got it right? Did you say you're always on time?
Yes.
Okay.
Always on his time. You're always on.
No, hold on.
On his time, yeah.
Hold on. Let me correct. I said I'm always here on time.
Oh yeah.
I'm here.
The focus is on here, not on time.
I just don't press a button to go live at the time.
Oh, that's
many
true.
Respect.
That's true.
Of course it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, you're sometimes fashionably late. Annie.
It's not fashionably late. It's functionally late. I think that's what I'm looking for. I would rather have an audience and some speakers than not have an audience of speakers. I say, if I went live every time on time, I would not have as many speakers. So I prioritize sending those invites out. When Elaine came into the room, I was like, I'm sending invites out. And she's sitting there going, can we go live now? I'm like, a few more invites, a few more. When I get to a place, once I've got through my WhatsApp list, I'm happier. That's when I normally say, let's go live, because without that, I guess my friends don't turn up primarily. And I get to my LinkedIn friends after that as well. So let's go. Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to find out how people would feel if they had a coach in their pocket, that they had to take an important exam. Do you feel it's important that I put this 1 week program out there? Obviously, those who are here see the value. Let's talk about that. Should a coach go the extra mile to make sure people in our industry gets the training they need, no matter what the sacrifice? So the sacrifice is, I got a scholarship from a friend who has a university, and I said, I'm going to invite about 50 people to take this free course. And so she says, well, what's the catch? Well, there really isn't any catch, because I really get a high from training people, seeing them pass their exam. So many people who have done my training have actually gone on and got PhDs. One of them started a university. One of them is a key trainer at a university in Detroit. I mean, when I look at the successes that I feel I'm responsible for in some small way, it gives me pleasure. So it's important that I can say, okay, I didn't go to medical school, but I helped like 500 people get their PMP. I trained over 10,000 people. So it helps me feel like I've added value in this world rather than saying, oh, I didn't help anybody, I didn't do anything. I believe we're here for a reason. And whether you believe in God or not, when you look at all the good things in this world, it didn't happen by mistake. Mistakes don't look good. Mistakes are things you do in the kitchen and you're like, I'll eat it anyway, but I'm not going to serve it to the guest. Okay.
Well, I think, Elaine, people became aware of the concept of purpose way before the concept of God was created, or discovered or whatever. My honest assessment of the presentation so far is obviously it's a pleasure, and it's the first time I've met you. My honest assessment of the situation is that the first thing, I'm saying this as a brand creator, the first thing that comes to the customer's mind, or the prospect's mind, should I say, is whether I need it. So whether I need it or not. So just to give you an example, I can go around the corner and talk to my valet, air quotes, expert, and just say to them, can you wash my car with carbonated water? Or are you going to wash it with normal water today? So it's just a matter of overkill to have a certificate or not sometimes, right? Because your business still is capable of going on without the certificate. But it's really how the certificate is positioned to the customer, how you put it to the customer. In my honest and humble view, and humble opinion, qualifying in the customer's head, qualifying whether they need it or not, is going to increase your signups, because when the customer listens to you, when the customer comes to the show, they still wonder. They shouldn't have that. They shouldn't have that wonder, because that's an extra hurdle they don't need and you don't need. So they're still wondering whether they need it or not. So in terms of answering your question, do you guys need a coach in your pocket? The answer is definitely yes, because who's out there who doesn't need a coach and a guide when they need one, when they want one, right? So if you contemplating creating an app, definitely go for it, because I see a lot of potential in this idea, and we all know when you're walking in the jungle, having a gun when you need it is better than the other way around, right? So having a gun when you don't need it is better than needing a gun when you don't have it, right? So having that app is going to be that gun. It's going to be that ammo that people are going to need in their whatever discipline they are in. I mean, predominantly for people whose livelihood depends on being hired by companies who value such certificates. On the flip side of it, there are companies who are not really bothered as long as the job is done, right? They are satisfied, and we are going towards a world where pragmatism is of significance. So people want the job done, right? So especially after COVID, nobody cares where you're working, right? You can be working from home, you can work in with a company, as long as you get the job done, right? But also, I agree with your point as well. There are those names after the person's, or those letters and there's those titles after the person's name could sometimes open a door. Honestly, I've never cared for those titles and names after the person's name, because the way I assess the person is whether they can do the job or not. So because I'm a podcaster and a brand creator, and either you got it or you ain't got it. That's the way I assess the situation. So and you could have lots of letters after your name, but when a recruiter is assessing you, you hopefully pass their test, and it is you, just like Carm mentioned, it's within you. It is what's within you who's going to pass the test or fail it, and those names are going to increase the chances of you getting hired. But it's not the be all and end all. in my humble opinion.
That's cool.
Thank you.
I
Elaine.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. That is great. That is great. And it's true. So the bottom line, if somebody can't sell themselves, they can have all degrees and certifications to get in a job interview and blow it. Oh man, those certifications don't work. I went for the interview and I didn't get the job. Well, what did you say? When they asked you about what do you do, did you just downplay it, or did you really talk it up big to use the right terminology to wow them? So the bottom line, some of the coaching will be on job interview skills and support on what to say when I have a book with the 50 top questions that project managers interact with on for job interviews. So we'll be covering some of those information from that book. Just so that people know if you're talking about an agile project, what are the terms you should be talking about? If you're applying for an agile job and you're not speaking the right terminology, chances are you're not going to get the job because you sound too generic. You sound like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Look, let me welcome America. America made the best comment today, which I have to put it on the screen and revel in the truth of it all, right? Any deserves his own time zone. I agree, America. There's any time. And we all live by any time, right? It's an amazing thing. Then we get
that's a business idea, Ben and Annie, that you create this time zone. You create this time zone that's like you start the meeting at 3:22 or 3:33.
Yeah, my friend.
Don't do 666 though. No 666.
No.
Your time zone is 17 minutes different to
Yes. It can be later, to be fair. Coach K, welcome. I see you. Coach K says a lot of people don't appreciate free stuff, Elaine, in terms of your free training, right? There are some who do, but you drain yourself. I said,
but that's okay. I'm going to record it and then I'll turn around and sell that product. They'll be like, could I? No, but see, the Kimberly makes a good point. They don't want it free, but they want it free when they ask for it free. Yeah. If I offer it free, no, but can I have it free? They want me to say yes. It's almost like a dating, like a dance and a dating thing.
Yeah.
You want it? You don't want it? You come over here.
I like that. I really like that.
It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. People can, at the end of the day, no one can say, you never gave me anything. Don't even go there. Don't ever go and say, Elaine never gave me anything. She never did anything for me. Oh, I have that memory that I can call all the times I contacted you and said, get your certification. I can help you. I can help you. And you said, no. And now what happens is people who say no, they're like, I'm doing pretty good. And then next thing you know, the job just says, look, we're getting rid of you. Then they're like, oh my God, I need that certification. Yeah. I need it like yesterday. But their brain can't process that much information to make it happen in 1 week. Your brain can't. So it is, you say life is good. Then your manager decides you get the certification or you're out of here. Then you're like angry because you're being made to do something you don't want to do. Or now they're saying, we're going to have to get rid of you because everybody on the team has certifications and stuff and you don't. And we're going for this grant and we can't have, you're the weak link in there.
People who are qualified.
Yeah.
When doing the free stuff, Coach K says, be mindful of your overflow versus sacrificing yourself. Jesus did that already. Indeed. Look, I don't want to come back to Cyrus's point. I mean, let me bring Mike's point up. The concept of God started well at creation, Cyrus. Possibly true. Did Adam and Eve think about, was that even true? I tell you. Whole Bible stories. We can argue that all day. So I will say, Coach K, I love this as well. Which is stuff that's to you, Elaine.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Create an app. It's a great idea. Create a project management app that can help people to do all the things that you do that saves you having to be there. But then people like the personal touch, right?
I know. Yeah, but in defense of God and the concept of Christ and Jesus and all the things that we call him, if you look at the beauty in the world, how can beauty happen by mistake? It doesn't happen by mistake. Okay, so you can say whatever you want, that this world was formulated and everything just came together. No.
Okay, Miss Kimberly, when exactly is this PMP that you're holding?
It's Monday, the 2nd. The 2nd through the 8th. It's at 7 p.m. And so I appreciate those of you who are on the call. I've seen some of you at the evening time sessions that I've had with I had afternoon times with him too. This session has been so enriching. Enriching meaning hearing your opinions, hearing what you have to say. Because I've been around the block a few times doesn't mean I know everything. So I'm always willing to listen to others and get their feedback. And yeah, doing free is a risk. People won't value it till I put a price on it. That's fine. That's fine. But as people will know, I'm making a recording of it, and then I'm going to put it out there. Buy it or don't. When it's the night before your exam and you're saying, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I hate that shoulda, woulda. If only I had. Oh my God, I'm so terrified. Oh, I'm so ill prepared. That's a lot of money to throw down the drain. If the first exam is like almost $600 now because they added in the certificate. The PMI membership is now added into the price. So when you pay for that exam, that's not an easy chunk of money to just say, it's okay if I fail.
It's
And
then never
retake.
okay if you fail. It's never okay if you because you lost time, lost opportunity. Look, and I think this takes me back to what I see Leanna's point. We pay a lot for those letters after our name, right?
Mm-hmm.
I list them. So whilst I don't list my qualifications, I think as Sarah said, we're living in a world where people almost try to disregard qualifications. I think that's to our detriment. I really think it is. Like I say, if we use AI as a perfect example, yes, the fact that you can create content with AI doesn't mean you are skilled or knowledgeable in the topic, and that drives me crazy. As a business owner, I don't want to employ people who just do AI. I want to employ people who understand the theory, understand the principles, use tools to fasten their work, but deep down they could do it even without the tools.
Same
as PMP,
may I please add something?
Monsieur? Go on then.
Just to qualify what I said earlier, if I may, please. I was going to say, I'm not denying the fact that these letters after the person's name on LinkedIn, they do matter to some organizations. Yes, they do. But we are going towards a version of the world where artificial intelligence, I'm not saying overnight, but comes over a few weeks and wipes out an entire discipline, right? So when that discipline is wiped out, those letters after your name ain't going to save you unless you can pivot and use your skills in a different way. So that's the point I was trying to make, because lots of the jobs that we can see right now, more than likely, in 6 months' time, they're either gone or the people who are in that discipline need to skill up and enter a separate discipline, either under or above themselves. But AI is mostly targeting low skilled category of jobs in the market. That's what I was trying to say.
No, I agree. Definitely, this is why Elaine's PMP program is so important. I think it's better we get skilled up now rather than waiting to find out that we're replaceable. So many are heading into you're replaceable because they have no real knowledge. I can't say enough. The whole point of doing courses or doing accreditation and certification is that you get to learn at a deeper level. So my days at uni weren't spent as, yes, I'm a psychologist. Yes, okay, I know what I know what I do, right? So this morning I messaged one of my friends. I'm like, here's some ideas for our next room. And then her reply was, who would have known that you're a psychology buff? Right. I know. Now she knows, but I think we're better people. We're more creative. We're more able to find solutions when we're qualified. That's the point. Mm-hmm. We can try and plug it all right.
With respect to AI, I would like to ask a question.
AI?
Yeah.
Okay,
since you brought it up, there is, I have a nagging feeling that the test that Elaine is trying to prepare us for, AI can also do the same thing, also for free. And in terms of conducting a mock test, they can do that too. So what do you say, Elaine?
Oh yeah, that's true. There are tools. There's tools out on Udemy. There's all kinds of stuff. Are people motivated to go and open the tool? They have the tools. I'm telling you, a lot of the people that I coach, they have like, oh, I have all the books. Oh, I paid for all of that. I paid like $4,000 and this and that. They just show me all the stuff they have. But when I say show me the book is brand new. No tabs, no. The book has no dog ear. When you
unread, not open.
So the AI can be programmed to come on a screen and wake up, Michael, time for studying. But if the person doesn't want to, they'll shut you off like an alarm. Off. What I'm offering is accountability. Now, if people want accountability, they got to come into the corral. They got to come in, and then I lock the gates and push them towards the goal. But if they stay on the outside saying, I don't need that, and then 2 days before the exam, my exam is in 2 days. What can you do? Oh my God. Are you a rocket scientist? I probably could coach you really hard, but last minute doesn't work because you can't retain it. You can't remember when you learned it. So when you take a test, you go back to, okay, I remember that information. I remember my coach said something about it. But if you're just memorizing, that is way too much information to try to memorize. The test is also based on how fast can you finish the test and not lose your mind. Well, the lose your mind is my part of it. It's like, he's laughing. The bottom line is you need to stay calm. You need to be well-paced, and you need to be able to get a certain number of questions done per minute. Okay. Each question is like 1 minute, 12 seconds. And so if you take 5 minutes on one question, you now have to make it up somewhere in order to get back on track. So there's a timeline moving. And if you're over here, you got to start to speed it up to get over here. So the strategies that I teach is how to speed it up, how to stay ahead of the curve. And then at some point you line up with the curve. But you don't want to be where the timeline is here at question 75 and you're still at question 35. There's a point where you need to just walk away, because if it's at the halfway mark and you're still at the quarter mark for answering questions, you lose energy as you take these tests. Your brain gets confused. You don't even know who the hell you are in the middle of all that. You're just like, oh my God. It's just question after question after question. And your brain has to be able to keep up. And that's the skills that I bring. Now, if somebody wants to build an AI that can do that and plug it into the back of somebody's neck, go ahead. Maybe that's what's coming.
I'm sure Elon Musk wants to build that, but that will take time. He hasn't built it yet.
I can almost imagine that they'll insert a chip in you, and it will zap you every time you're doing the wrong things.
Yeah,
They're already doing that.
I like
hold on, Coach K. I've sent you the link to your DMs if you want to join us and share. Well, we'll have to go through the comments. Now, more of my friends are here. So Elaine Mike says, I've been struggling with the return on investment concept relative to my LinkedIn interaction. After my quad bypass, I want to bring intention and attention to my presence. In the present, relationship is our purpose. How that plays out in the presence between us and the transcendence, I guess, the presence between us and God, right?
I would say anybody, even no matter what industry you're looking for return on investment, you need to put it into an app or put it into Excel. Take it and cut and paste. Now, if you put it into ChatGPT, I would put it as a blinded information. You don't want to put all your company or your trade secrets into ChatGPT and then have it become part of the core memory that everybody can access. So you want to put it, there's a little circle and then the screen goes dark so that you can then work on ChatGPT without your information being saved. And that's what I would do, is do an assessment, a comparison. How do you get more? What's a roadmap? I'm really good at prompting. So I believe, if you want me to walk you through a couple of steps, contact me and we can sort of play around with ChatGPT or Gemini or any of the tools that are out there. I'm part of an AI group and I have.
Yeah, I almost forgot that you're an AI person. And I say, when me and Elaine met, I'm like, Elaine, stop all that AI stuff. She's like, no.
Elaine, put me down for that.
We thought about it.
Okay, I'll call you in and call Cyrus in together, and we'll look at some prompts for helping. It wasn't Cyrus; it was Michael, wasn't it? Michael.
Yeah, Mike. It was Mike
that needed some help.
It was Mike and Tom.
I thought Mike was retired.
Yeah,
people don't know what they need till they need what you wanted to give them. And charge them for that. Punish them for delaying. I know you didn't say that, Kimberly. I know you didn't say that.
The first time is free. After that,
my AI told me. My AI told me it told me, you know what? You are too nice. I'm like, AI told me that. My ChatGPT says you need to toughen up. You need to tell them what you're going to tell them and get that money. You're too nice. I'm like, oh.
I said that too amazingly today. I'm like, why? Why would you give it free? But no, Coach K, you made your point.
Because there's a strategy behind it. If I give it free, number one, that gives me a chance to interact with them and get to know what companies they work for. My purpose from now through 2026 is to work with corporations. So the only way I can get into a corporation is to, number one, someone needs to bring me in. Someone needs to say, hey, I found a professional speaker. I do professional presentations. I help people with public speaking. So what I'm looking for is individuals that will say, hey, come into my company and give us a presentation or a motivational talk or a keynote speaker, all of those kinds of things. They're step by step. So the only way to know people is to get them to know and like me. On LinkedIn, lots of people, they know and like me. But the bottom line, can you bring me into your company? Can you introduce me to your manager so I can do a talk for your team? So there's a method to the madness, and I don't look at it as a loss because I will be recording those sessions, and those sessions will be valuable to somebody who, like, last minute is hard to pull off. Last minute is hard because the person is not in the mindset to stay up all night. You would not believe the number of people tell me, I need my sleep. You need your sleep. I don't want to hear that. I'm your coach. Get up. Give it your last ditched effort. Oh, I need 8 hours. I need 9 hours sleep.
I don't want to burn out. I don't want to burn myself out. I want to make sure I want mild discomfort to achieve greatness. Just mild discomfort.
They want to have energy left for going on vacation or energy left for the weekend to go out with friends and have drinks. I mean, if you want something for your profession, you have to give it your all.
Yeah.
You have to give it your all so that when you get it, you can say it was worth it.
Yeah. Again, I know that you have a post and another program beyond the week, the free week.
Yes, Beyond the Week is for the month of November. Anybody that's looking for, it's going to be a discounted program, in a way discounted, but people always give the excuse, oh, Christmas is here. What does that have to do with your career? What does it have to
Everything
do?
stops. Everything stops, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Isn't
And
I
mine
got my
doesn't stop.
PMP in December. I got my PMP right around the holiday time, Thanksgiving. Everybody was out drinking and having fun. I was sitting on the bed studying, going flashcards and reviewing. And they're like, "Come on down and have some fun." No.
Okay, right. I see what Coach K was saying.
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link.
No, I think this is my chance to say to everyone
Nice
here.
to meet you.
Look, tell a friend, my friends. Tell a friend. If you know someone who wants to do project management,
Yeah,
and could benefit from, I guess, a boost, something to make them separate them from everyone else.
mm-hmm.
Tell them about Elaine's free program, that free week program to see if project management is for them, right?
Right. And if you want to just sit in, register. It's a free class. Come and sit in and see what it's about. I'm not trying to recruit you into project management, but it might turn your head into thinking why project managers do what they do. Sometimes they're like, oh my God, you're so pushy. You're all on top of me. Yeah, they want to get into the space and manipulate the data.
Top of me.
Hello.
Hi, Coach K. How are you doing? Coach K, you're muted, so feel free to speak. Welcome. Meet Elaine. Coach K.
Can you hear me?
We hear you now. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We hear you. I just wanted to. I have to run to a meeting. I like you, Elaine, and I can't type as fast as the conversation was going. I'm going to come to your training, and I want to share it with my people. I'm going to share it on my Facebook, and I'll put it in my story on TikTok and Instagram, because I want to be clear that I support what you're doing. But I teach self-love, so I'm going to stay on you about you loving not over giving yourself, because I think that when we go through things as coaches, our whole coaching experience comes from us and our living experiences, wanting somebody else to experience their greatness, right? But it's like we can't do all the work for them. They got to want it for themselves. And you cannot sacrifice yourself in exchange for their work, because they're not going to get the lesson still. And so I don't disagree with doing it for free, because I'm doing some free stuff where I just go to where the money is. I go to where CEOs live, and I'll share it with you how I'm doing it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm going to go and I'm going to give it free to people that I know that they already got the money. They don't care about the holidays, because money's not a problem for them. So if you go to where the money resides, you eliminate half your objections just out the gate. And so I don't disagree with free. It's okay to target certain graphics in different industries for what you're doing anyway, since you're already a niche. That way, you're not burning yourself out. These people that say, you know what, I love that you're doing it for free. Let me donate a little something to you, or they will invite you into their organization, so that you're not doing what I did, where I'm going around my peers and I'm burning myself out, because our peers don't always have the vision we have. They have a totally different vision, and we might be sitting at the same table, but they pointed in that direction, and you pointed in this direction, and that's what causes the burnout. And it's like, I love what you're doing so much that I don't see you burn yourself out, and I would love to see you reach maximum people when you do it for free, so that you're hitting as many like houses with your stones as possible, so that what you're doing is truly working for you. So I get everything you were saying, but my comments, they weren't linking up with how you were saying it. So I'm like, let me just come on and get this out my system so I don't blow this interview.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. I'll follow up with you. I promise.
Yeah. Do connect. Let's see. Elaine has many other crazy. I say crazy. You know, she has a pay what you can afford. You know, service as well, which is rather great. I think it's great.
But you know what? I offer to pay what you can afford, and someone says, "Can I give you $1?" Can you imagine this? But see, the thing is, people need to realize.
Were you insulted, or were you?
I didn't respond. I didn't respond to him. He's still waiting.
Like, you literally have to put the value there for people to see it, because people don't think anymore. Like, that's the thing about AI. And I did that before. I tried that before, and they offered me $5, and I did take it and sent it back, just to let them know that I respectfully had to decline. And then I had to stop playing with myself and raise my value, because I started getting frustrated, thinking that people didn't see me and they didn't respect and they didn't value me, when the truth was I wasn't valuing myself. But also, I like to go in free at the beginning, because it allows you to see who people are and how serious they are, because there are a few that will take it super serious because of the free, because they're really trying to change their situation. And those are the ones you really want. But it's like, it does allow you to kind of build relationship and see. But we have to just remember that we cannot save everybody, and we cannot test for people. Like, if you know you got a test tomorrow and you don't sit your butt up and you don't study for that test, I'm not cramming. SHIT. I do it the exact same. My coaching style is extremely similar to my parenting style, and I have 3 boys that are totally different. But it's like, people have to have a certain sense of self-accountability to succeed. It's not about driving yourself crazy, because the truth is, if you believe in God and you do what you're just supposed to do 1% every day, he will show up in ways that you can't imagine when it's time to take a test. Because I can't tell you how many tests I passed that were over 2 hours long, and I read like half the material. I read about half. I'm not even going to sit here and gaslight people like I read everything and I studied hard. I did not. I just knew it because of my experience. So some things can come to some people naturally, but they have to apply themselves. We cannot put our foot on their gas. They got to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, I hit that. Clearly, it was like a passion point. But I
think it's a fair point. I mean, Mike is talking about someone with PhD for his department, and but literally, they were qualified in soil, in soil chemistry. And how does that really, what's that got to do with, his cybersecurity work? I think you have to know what you're doing, right? You have to know, if you don't know what you're doing, if you have no experience, no real knowledge that helps in the sector, what's the point?
Yeah, but I also believe that may have happened because sometimes when you have a certain degree of learning that your brain can handle at a certain level, it's almost like transferable skills. He needs subject matter expert, but he's going to be operating at a higher level than if he came in at the bottom as a new student. It's the brain, how the brain operates when somebody actually, people don't get a PhD by mistake. It's a long, unless it's an honorarium kind of a PhD, and I would never take an honorarium PhD. And
I'll take it if anyone's offering.
Yeah, but the thing is, how do you match? You can't match wit. You come up, somebody asks you to be on the panel, and you got your PhD because somebody thought you looked nice in a robe, and somebody else worked hard. You're not going to be able to challenge them.
Don't be like that. But I earned a PhD at 21. I gave it back.
I know you told me.
So I deserve to have another one that's honorary now. So I feel I have no guilt at all. But again, I think, as Coach K is saying, experience counts more in terms, especially when you have when you have the knowledge, and the understanding, experience is everything, right? So the problem I have
these days, it's about the relationship. So building relationships with the right people is not so much who do you know, but who do you know that likes you? Who do you know that's in your corner? Who do you know that's going to be supportive? Like, I just met Coach K, and I can sense that she and I could probably get in like hours and hours of discussions and back and forth and what if. And the fact that she even brought God into the conversation made me feel really comfortable.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Coach K. Hope we didn't make you late for your meeting. So
Yeah.
so I need to get
Go.
going.
Yeah, we need to get going. That
Maybe, maybe one day I'll hold an all-day platform, and if people just come on and off.
No need. No, I think you can do 4 hours max. So
Hello.
hello, Alvin. So we'll let you ask one quick question. Elaine does have to go. How are you doing, Alvin? I was about to put your comment up. Alvin, you're muted. You're muted.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, it took a little bit more time to unmute
Link.
myself. To
Bonjour,
everyone.
Alvin. Comment vas-tu?
Je vais bien. I am good, thanks. And you?
Good, doing good. Thank you for
Je
coming.
suis bien, merci.
You're welcome. So, I was listening to your live. Thank you for that. I discover a lot. I'm discovering a lot because French system is very different from English system about course and scholarship, and it was quite interesting. And I can say also that I came late, so I didn't hear the beginning. Anyway, thank you for your explanations. And I think we need to practice to put the effort, to put our heart into whatever we want to achieve, and to go wherever we want to go. That's my point for the beginning. So thank you for that. And yes, thank you, Annie, for inviting me too. And that's all for me.
Always a joy. Always a joy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think a quick recap before we a quick recap, Elaine. That way, for those who joined late, they know what you're offering, and then we can go. How's that?
Okay. So a quick recap. I'm Elaine Jackson. My company is Holistic Project Management Consulting. I have a host of certifications in project management, PMO. Also, my training is in positive intelligence, AI, sustainability. This whole session today is to promote a free training for project managers next week, and it will be from 7 to 9 p.m. each day, Monday through Friday. And the purpose of that is to help project managers that are out there that just need a boost in the last point of being ready for their PMP certification. And the follow up to this is that there's going to be additional training for others for the rest of the month of November. Some people will say, oh, it's getting near Christmas. If people are determined to make the certification happen, they will make the sacrifice and not even worry about holidays and having drinks and going out and everything. That should be off the agenda. And your only plan is to get the training you need to advance your career. Now, there was some quick talk about, do you really need the certification? Well, if you don't need it, take it off the resume. If someone is intimidated by all your degrees, just leave one on. They don't need to know everything about you. But the issue is that when you need it, you have things to add on to your resume or onto your LinkedIn profile. You take them on and off as you see fit. But the bottom line, if you don't have it, you have nothing to add on when you need an extra bump to get someone to notice you. So the free training is next week. I'll put the link into the chat. When this call is ended, I'll put the link so you can register. Do register. It would be good to come to all 5 sessions, but come to 4 sessions, 3 sessions. I'm telling you, within the first 15 minutes with me, you will be captivated. That's my aim when I present, is to make sure that my audience is just totally getting what they need in order to move on to the next step in their career. So it is my pleasure to help project managers in this way. So thank you, Annie, for letting me present. And this engagement was really, really great.
Super.
I'd like to come for fun. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Any look, you're welcome to come for fun. But I say also tell your friends, if they can benefit, bring them along. Anyone who wants to join for fun, join.
Okay.
What Elaine didn't say is that she's a Toastmasters trainer as well. So her presenting skills are second to none. And she'll make you laugh, apparently.
Yes.
That's apparently. She delights in making people laugh, with her training. So look, I'll put a link in the comments, and so do sign up, do go along. At the very least, connect with Elaine. If you struggle to connect with Elaine, send me a DM. I'll connect you in a group chat. Then you can start the conversation there. So, Coach K, that goes to you too as well. I know you have to go, Elaine, so I'm going to let you go.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Have
everyone.
a great day and a great weekend, everybody. Okay, bye, Amy.
I'm going to have me a nap. Bye, everyone.
I tired you out. I'm sorry.
Bye, everyone. Have a nice day.
Talk to you later.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drum.